Hi everyone, and welcome to today's webinar on recruitment metrics and dashboards. How you can plan, measure and monitor the KPIs that are important to you, your team and your organisation. Just to introduce myself, I'm Idris, one of the account executives at Eploy. I've been in the recruitment tech space for over 6 years and I spent 6 years as a recruiter myself. So we're going to be looking at a couple of different things today. We're going to be looking at some use cases for Eploy's recruitment metrics and dashboards. We're going to actually demonstrate some of those dashboards and how you can even build your own report. And then we're going to look at some relevant case studies of how an existing Eploy customer is using the recruitment dashboards to generate better results for their organization. And then we'll finish off with a summary as well. So let's dive into it. So a couple of use cases for the recruitment metrics and dashboards is you can measure everything in real time. Eploy's analytics allow you to track and measure what's important to you in real time with no delays. It just means that you can action things when they need to be actioned. You can create, focus and aggregate the metrics that matter. So you have control over how you collate that information and then how you go and visualize it. So if you want to track your ED&I information from the sources of candidates, if you want to look at the religious makeup of candidates that are applying across different regions or different locations, you can do that. It's completely up to you. You can create and share dashboards. So the Eploy dashboards can actually be individual, so perhaps for a head of TA or TA director, or it can be team-based. Think your sourcing channels, think KPIs. It's up to you how you choose to use those dashboards. You can visualize the data how you want. So you have the ability to choose whether it's a donut chart, a pie chart, a bar chart, a line graph, a snapshot. Completely up to you how these dashboards are visualized, whatever works best for your organization. And then you've got candidate and hiring manager feedback. So Eploy allows you to send out surveys at specific points in the recruitment process to gather feedback. And that feedback might be, how did you find the interview process? How did you find the application process? It's up to you what that looks like, but we can gather that information to give you actionable insights to enable you to continuously improve as a team. So let's dive into the demonstration. So we're going to start off here, and the first thing that I want to point out to you is just at the top, this navigation bar, where you can look at individual users, you can look at specific organizations or departments, we can also look at different vacancies, we can also look at different date ranges. If we want to, we can export any of this data into Excel, we can print it as a PDF, it is completely up to you. Now this dashboard is focusing on efficiency and time to hire. We can see total vacancies, average time to fill, average time to hire, average time to raise or authorize a job requisition by user, time to offer acceptance, requisition cancellation rate by business unit, and also time to authorize versus the reason for a specific hire in here. Another dashboard that I want to point out to you is sourcing. So what is the return on investment from the different channels that we have? When a candidate applies, where do they get up to in the process? What are the sources of our applications over a period as a pie chart? Of the qualified candidates, what ratio are they when they come from places like universities, social media, our careers website? Here we can see that 57% of the actual applicants from our careers site are qualified. That means that the other 43% are not. Why did candidates withdraw? So at any point in the process, we can see here it's a pie chart showing us why those candidates withdrew. We can also see specific reasons down here visualized as a snapshot, and then why candidates withdrew, but also at what stage did they withdraw from the process. What's the monthly number of applications by source? And we can see this as a line graph. If we need to extend that out to build, to give us a better visualization, we can do that in here. Now this column that you see here, this is showing the recruitment ratios. So looking at the different channels that we have, how many as a percentage of those candidates complete an application once they see a vacancy. Then as a percentage from those different channels, do they go from application to first interview, and then first interview to second interview, and then second interview to offer, and then offer acceptance. The point down here is that we're seeing that 100% of the candidates that applied and were referred, they actually accept an offer. Whereas 0% of the candidates from our careers site, when they get an offer, they actually do accept. So we can figure out, well, is that a problem with our careers site? Is that a problem with our offer process? How do we improve that? But it's given us areas that we can focus on in here. Just on the right hand side, we've got our application drop-off column. So we can see the application drop-off rate across different sourcing channels. We can also see the application drop-off rate focused on job boards specifically. We can also see application to hire ratios by source. We can see application to hire ratios by source, but a little bit more detailed down here. And then we can see the number of applications from different job boards over different months in this section. This dashboard is showing us some ED&I information. So we're looking at registered candidates, applications, those that reached an interview and those that were placed. And then we've got the same information as a donut chart. We can then also see the average salary by gender identity. We can see the diversity of applications as a ratio by department. We can see the diversity of applications as a ratio by source as well in here. And then these three charts, the first one is looking at the nationality breakdown of applications by business unit. The next one is looking at the ethnicity breakdown of applications by business unit. And we're also then looking at the submitted candidates to first interview ratio by ethnicity. So really easy for you to be able to surface the metrics that are important to you to give you the areas that you need to focus on as an organisation. This chart is just showing you onboarding. So where are our candidates in the process? What tasks do we need to do? We can see here we've got offers waiting approval, references awaiting response. We can also see onboarding in progress, offers that have been accepted, references that need reviewing but have been received. Those candidates that have completed their onboarding. If we have any right to work checks, are they incomplete? Have they failed? We can also see ID checks that need completing. We can see DBS checks. Any checks, any onboarding tasks that you need to do, we can see them in this dashboard, which could be shared with specific team members that maybe have responsibility for that particular task. This is just looking at our talent pools. So we can see the health of our talent pools over a period of time. Registrations, candidates that have registered but have a specific location. Where you might use this is if in retail we are opening up a new store in the north, we've only got 33 people that want to work in that area. That's something that we probably need to focus on. Same thing here, candidates by preferred department. If we're opening up, if we need some additional IT resource, we can see here that we only have 31 people that want to work in IT. We probably need to focus on that. We can see our specific talent pools around silver medalists, so those candidates that have been rejected, but if we had another opportunity, we'd certainly recruit for them. IT skills, retail experience, all of these can be built by you. This dashboard is looking at our vendors. So Eploy has its own vendor management solution. So you can see vacancies that are awaiting allocation, the number of roles allocated to each of your agencies, the number of roles filled by those agencies, total candidates supplied as a pie chart, number of hires, total spend per agency, average cost of spend per agency, candidates to hire as a percentage per agency, candidates to hire as a ratio per agency, and then we've got agency leavers over the monthly period. Great way of being able to hold your agencies to account. You've got all the data there, so you can see who's doing well, who's not doing so well. So as you have your QBRs or regular catch-ups with those agencies, you can see what the focus needs to be from there. This dashboard speaks to our satisfaction. So this is looking specifically at candidate satisfaction, but you can have the same for managers. So we will ask a series of questions of those candidates as a survey that can be sent out at any time, perhaps after their first interview, or perhaps at the point that they've been hired. But some of these questions might be, how easy was it to apply? How did you feel about the interview? What was your understanding of the role? How prompt was the recruiter in communicating with you? How well prepared were you for the interview? And if we need to, we can delve into the detail that sits behind that specific dashboard to understand who that is, who the hiring manager was, what role they applied for. All of that detail can be found. This dashboard is looking at employee referrals. So in here, we're able to see top referrers, referrals by vacancy, live vacancies with a bonus, referral rate per vacancy, most engaged employees, referral sourcing channels, referred shares, so how many of your current employees have shared your vacancies, most referred vacancies, top referring teams, most engaged teams, bonuses that are pending to be paid to some of your employees, rewards that have been requested, a breakdown of those that have been requested versus paid, bonuses paid and pending. Now this does require the employee referrals module, but if you are currently managing an employee referrals program, you're doing that manually, this is going to save you tons and tons of time. Now I want to show you how easy it is for you to be able to build a report based on your needs. So what we would need to do is add a widget, and then we're going to choose a bar chart, and then we choose what the record type is. So I might choose applications, and then I'm going to look at all applications. And then am I going to look at another metric? Well, yes I am. I'm going to choose all applications by workflow stage in here. I could also choose another status. It might be by location, the date range, and then I can choose how that looks, whether it's vertical, whether we show the values, whether we have a different color. I'm going to choose orange for this example. And then in here we can see all the applications and where they're currently up to. You have full control over how that is built. Now that we've experienced a demonstration of the Eploy metrics and reporting dashboard, we're now going to look at a relevant case study of how an existing customer is using this within the system. So we're going to focus on Wren Kitchens. So Wren Kitchens used the Eploy recruitment metrics dashboards to reduce time to hire by 27 days, monitor D&I KPIs, including conversion ratios from those different groups, to track key metrics enabling better team collaboration, and produce better received recruitment data presentations. All of this functionality sits within Eploy, and hopefully we'll be able to let you benefit from its usage. And if you'd like further information, you can view our recruitment metrics cookbook. And if you would also like any other information, you can email us at marketing@eploy.co.uk. Thank you for your time.